What is up, my fellow citizens? It's Gio here, and if you guys been missing me, I've been on Twitch. I usually try to stream Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time until about 9 now. So if you guys want to come check me out, those are usually my times now for right now. But anyways, I want to talk to you guys about this awesome change that is going to go on in Star Citizen. Now, a lot of people said they seen it at CitizenCon. It was mentioned. Maybe I was in there so hype I didn't even pay attention. I knew the homestead stuff they talked about. I knew that was coming and putting stuff on planets. That was always awesome. But I didn't know about the new, basically, survival mechanics, even though I know a couple people are kind of sad about that. But, you know, we'll talk about that later and get into it. But there was an interview that a fan basically did. I guess they had a Bar Citizen event in Germany, and they did an interview. I forgot the guy's name. I'm sorry, but I'll leave the link to the video in the description and the town hall if you guys haven't seen it. But we finally got information on you're going to have to eat, which if it's done right, I think it'll be real cool, and it adds another, you know, profession in the game, if you ask me. Because before you would just be cooking for the hell of it. Now that it's in the game, you know, to have a valuable cook on one of your multi-cruise ships or something, it'll come in handy. So having a guy, maybe there's some kind of mini game they could have in there, like if he burns the food, maybe the food won't sit in your stomach as long as it should, compared to, you know, a good cooked meal that's real good, not burnt, just perfectly cooked, will last you a little longer. You know, something like that that'll make it cool, because there are people out there who are going to want to be cooks, and this adds another level of, you know, immersion when you're farming and you go out in the wild. You're going to have to hunt for food if you're running out of supplies, if your ship crashed, you know, you're all alone, you're waiting for a search and rescue, which, by the way, all this stuff goes up in value now. You know, search and rescue is probably going to be a very big job now, bigger than it was before, because it's going to be desperation for these ships that crashed planetside or stuck in the middle of the space, running out of, well, before we had running out of air, now it's going to be a food thing going on in there. For your planetside, you're going to have to hunt, you're going to have to, you know, pick some apples off the tree, or, you know, all kinds of stuff. Drink water, like, it's amazing. And I know a lot of people don't like that type of, you know, survival type thing, and I'm kind of with you there, because, you know, games like H1Z1 or you know, all these games that are out there, it's real tedious. Like on H1Z1, I had to keep picking freaking berries every 2 minutes. I mean, that was a long time ago. I don't know how it is now, but when I played it, when it first came out, I'm just eating berries and berries and berries. It was real tedious and annoying, and I think CIG will find that perfect middle ground where it's just a tad bit tedious, but it's not going to get too much in the way of your, you know, your gameplay. So, you know, obviously having one of the big ships, something like an Idris in orbit, when you go on planet, you know, that'd be awesome to have a big thing of supplies in there in case you got to go back and you know, refill. And even something like the Redeemer, you know, we had that little kitchen thing on top, and people are saying it's useless. Maybe now, you know, it's something that's more viable, because with these eating mechanics, you got somewhere where people can eat at and, you know, chill, cook, and all that cool stuff. And even in the Caterpillar and Starfare and all these other cool ships, it's all starting to make sense of why this stuff is in there. It's just not something that looks cool and you could just use for the hell of it. So I'm very excited for the food aspect, especially with me being a trader and having an endeavor. I was already cool with, you know, cooking and fishing and capturing my own stuff in game, and, you know, making food and stuff out of that. So now I could be a cook on top of, you know, growing this stuff, or just be the farmer to send out to cooks and have their supplies. It's just so exciting, you know, to have this type of stuff in there. My only thing is, I really trust CIG to find the middle ground with it not being annoying and tedious. And I think that's what a lot of people are worried about. If it's just right, I think a lot of people are going to be okay with it. Another thing is, you know, the atmosphere. So if it's super cold out there and you don't have the right armor or the right generators to warm your homestead and your bases on planet, I mean, you could freeze, stuff couldn't break. I mean, this is going to be awesome. Also with the atmosphere, it could be something that you're not supposed to be, sniffing in. Your suit needs oxygen out there, and that's why earlier we seen this week, it was a shot of the exploration suit. So obviously the exploration suit is going to have different stuff than this marine armor or pirate armor that we're using in Star Marine. It's going to be features that armor has, and the Star Marine armor's got stuff that the exploration suit doesn't have. So now you're gonna have to go prepared, maybe 3 or 4 armor suits, different type of armors to go out to make sure you're well prepared. So the preparation game, that right there, I love that type of mini multitasking and doing, or I should say mini management type stuff. Like, okay, I need this, that, couple food supplies. Maybe the exploration suit could hold I mean, like a recon droid, or anything, more food than your standard armor. We could speculate all day of what kind of different armors there are going to be, especially now with the search and destroy. If you want to be a medic, you need to get in there quick, boom boom, hold more medi pens. I don't know, I mean, we could go on and speculate all day, but it's such a cool feature to have. Now that's another thing that they have to get right with the atmospheres, because in No Man's Sky, I did appreciate how they did that in there. It was just sometimes it got real tedious and annoying. Certain planets, you'd have to have a different suit and different upgrade to last longer. And well, I guess that was okay. If I go with the wrong suit, maybe I should be, losing, breath long and all the other stuff. But sometimes you have to keep grinding for resources even with those suits to stay alive, and that got real, tedious. I'd rather just go back to the ship, or, my rover, hook up to the, station real quick, get a quick recharge on an oxygen machine or something like that, and it'll work out like that, and I know, finding resources and crazy stuff like that. So, I think CIG is going to get the right thing for it. They're going to get the right mix. Right now, the oxygen's not even on. While we're in the PU, that's going to get cut on pretty soon, as we get the functions of some of these multi-crew ships, which they said they're working on, because they're getting all the multi-crew stuff for the big ships going, and they said it's going to be easier going down the road. Once they get these big ships knocked out, it's going to just trickle down to the smaller big ships, I should say, even though they're fucking big. So once that multi-crew stuff gets there, we'll get a better gist of supplies, what we're going to need, if we got to hook up to like some machine for air and oxygen and stuff like that. And people are just going to have to be more on point. I mean, when you go on a mission, you got to make sure you're well prepped. I can't just go plan aside, go explore randomly in the M50. I got to have something where I can hold full food supplies, and I got to be smarter with my ship selection. That's what I'm excited about. You can't just do something crazy and random like that. Maybe the smallest ship I can go by myself in is was it a 325A or 315A? Excuse me, I get those mixed up. But one of them are the exploration variant, of the 300 series. So it's stuff like that I'm gonna have to be smart about when I go exploring. I can't just go out and do random shit. It makes ships more valuable. Especially like the Carrick, something like that. That big ass exploration ship. I know the value probably just shot up with that, because you got the medical bay, you got food, you got headquarters. It's got everything you need now, for the planet side, and make bases on the planet. Oh my gosh, guys, this is just, this really has me even more excited than before. I'm actually real glad that they got this stuff, because I really want to be a cooking game. I can't cook shit in real life, but I want to master it in game and have the right food supplies, and maybe have little picnics by our bases on planet side. But you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you guys later. And one more thing, Star Citizen for life.